Picture this. It's a Tuesday evening. I get a text. Car repair estimate. The number says $340. 3 months earlier, that text would have sent me straight to my credit card. No other option. Just swipe, stress, and spend the next 4 months paying interest on a Tuesday I'd already forgotten about. This time, I opened my banking app, transferred the money, closed the app. No credit card, no borrowing from next month, no quiet panic at 11 p.m. wondering how I was going to cover it. That moment used to be impossible for me. Not because I didn't earn enough, because I had nothing sitting between me and the next emergency. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I built the buffer that made that moment possible, and how you can do the same thing in 60 days, even if right now it feels like there's nothing left to save. My name is Miles. I figured this out the hard way, so you don't have to. If you watched the last video, you already know your floor number, you know your flex budget, and you set up your future bucket. Today we're going to put something in it. And before we get into the plan, I want to tell you about the one rule that almost cost me my buffer before it was even finished. Stay for that. It's the part most people learn too late. Let's start with the honest part. If you're watching this with zero in savings right now, that's not a discipline problem. That's a system problem. And here's what zero actually costs you, not emotionally, financially. When you have no buffer, every unexpected expense becomes a crisis, and crises are expensive. A $200 car repair paid from savings costs $200. The same repair on a credit card, carried for 4 months at 24% interest, costs closer to $216. Multiply that across a year of small emergencies, and you're paying a significant tax just for not having a buffer. Zero buffer isn't just stressful, it has a dollar amount. The fix is one layer of protection between you and that cycle. That layer is your buffer, and the target is $1,000, not because it solves everything, but because it covers the most common crises. Now, before I give you the plan, I want to explain why most people have tried this and stopped. Because if you've attempted an emergency fund before and failed, you didn't fail at saving. You failed at a system designed wrong for how your brain works. 3 traps almost everyone falls into at least one. Trap 1, saving from what's left. The standard advice, spend what you need, save what's left. The problem? There's never anything left. The month always finds a way to use it. Saving from leftovers doesn't work because leftovers don't exist. Trap 2, the goal felt too big to start. $1,000 sounds like a lot when you have $47, so people wait for a raise, for a big expense to clear, for things to feel more stable. Things never feel stable. The $1,000 never starts. Trap 3, they spent it on something that felt like an emergency but wasn't. You build $400, you're proud of it. Something comes up that feels urgent and the buffer disappears. This third trap is the one I want to come back to, because it's not just about discipline, it's about having a definition. I'll give you that definition in a few minutes. First, let me show you where the money actually comes from. Here's the math, and I want to be clear about how to read it. $1,000 in 60 days breaks down to roughly $500 per month. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Miles, I already calculated my floor. I barely have anything left in my flex budget. I can't cut it in half. That's exactly right, and that's not what I'm suggesting. The method I used, I call it the micro surplus method, doesn't ask you to shrink your flex budget dramatically. It finds the money from 3 other places. You don't need all 3. Any one of them gets you most of the way there. Source 1, the invisible leak. When most people track their flex spending carefully for the first 2 weeks, they find between $40 and $80 in spending they never consciously chose. Not big purchases, small ones that slipped through. I did this exercise in month 2 of trying to save. I found a $14 monthly charge for an app I downloaded once, used for about 9 minutes, and never opened again. It had been charging me for 8 months. That's $112 I handed over to an app I'd completely forgotten existed. Most people find at least one of these. Redirecting $50 of recovered spending per week into your future bucket gives you $200 per month, without changing a single intentional purchase. Source 2, the subscription audit. Open your last 30 days of bank statements. Look for charges you didn't think about this morning. When I did my first audit, I found 3 subscriptions I was paying for, and one I'd genuinely forgotten I'd signed up for. A free trial I never canceled. $9 a month for a service I'd used twice. I canceled it in about 90 seconds. That's $108 a year back in my pocket from one 90-second action. Cancel one. Just one. Even $10 a month over 60 days is $20 directly into your buffer. Source 3. One income move. Optional, but powerful if the first two don't fully close the gap. I sold a mechanical keyboard I hadn't touched in 2 years. It sat on a shelf. Looked nice. Did nothing. I listed it on a weekend, sold it for $85, and transferred every dollar into the buffer the same day. No budgeting required. Just converting something I owned into something I needed. One targeted move. Extra hours if available. One weekend task. One unused item turned into cash. Combined, and again you don't need all 3, the micro surplus method finds the $500 per month without asking you to live on nothing. It asks you to stop losing money you didn't know you were losing. Now, before you aim for $1,000, there's a smaller number I want you to think about first. $300. The most common unexpected expenses. A single car repair, a moderate medical copay, an appliance failure, a utility spike, fall in the $200 to $400 range. A $300 buffer covers the majority of crises that actually happen at your income level. When your buffer hits $300, something shifts. It's the first time the buffer has proven it could work, even if you never touch it. That feeling is what carries you to $1,000. Set 2 targets. Target 1, $300. Target 2, $1,000. Hit the first one. Celebrate it. Then keep going. Now, the one rule. I built my buffer to $420. 4 months of discipline. I was proud of that number. Then a concert came up, an artist I'd wanted to see for years. Tickets were $180. And my brain did what brains do. It found a reason. It's a one-time thing. I'll replace it next month. 30 days later, my buffer was $240. 3 weeks after that, my car needed a repair. I paid it on a credit card. Here's what I wish I'd had. Not more discipline. A clear definition. A buffer emergency is something that threatens your health, your housing, your income, or your transportation to income. Health, housing, income, transportation to income. A car repair that stops you getting to work, buffer. A heating failure in winter, buffer. An urgent medical bill, buffer. A concert, a sale, a weekend trip, a gadget that's on discount for 1 day only, not buffer. And here's the line I want you to remember. If this purchase won't matter in 6 months, it doesn't get buffer money. Say it again. If this purchase won't matter in 6 months, it doesn't get buffer money. The concert I spent that $180 on, I don't remember most of what happened. I remember exactly what it cost me. One more rule, the replace first rule. If you use your buffer for a real emergency, great, that's what it's for. Your next financial goal is to refill it. Not invest, not save for something new. Refill first. This keeps the buffer alive instead of slowly draining over time. And that $340 car repair I mentioned at the start, buffer money. Health, housing, income, transportation, it qualified. It cost me nothing because it was already there. Here's your move for today. Not this week, today. 3 options. Pick one. 1. Open your future bucket account, the one from the last video, and set up an automatic transfer. It can be $25 per week. It can be $10. The amount matters less than the automation. Set it to trigger the day after payday. Not when you remember, the day after payday. 2. Open your last 30 days of bank statements and find one subscription you forgot about. Cancel it today. Move that amount into your future bucket right now, manually as a first deposit. 3. Write down 2 dates. The date you expect to hit $300 and the date you expect to hit $1,000. Put them somewhere visible. Writing the dates makes the goal real in a way that thinking about it never does.
Pick one, just one. Then drop your starting number in the comments. Day 1, $____. Mine was $0. Maybe yours is too. That's okay. That's the point. The people who type that number, even when it's 0, especially when it's 0, are the ones who actually build the buffer. Because saying it out loud is the first step that counts. Once yours is built, the next video shows you what happens after. That's where your money stops sitting still and starts working. That's where investing begins. And it's closer than you think. Hit subscribe if this helped. New video every week. Not perfect, just better than yesterday. I'll see you in the next one.